So I started noticing tons of worm castings under, I just seen that hole over there. I don't know what that's from. Under my boat, my kayak, and so I started feeding my worms. Because if you go to Walmart and you buy a bag of worm castings, they're super expensive. I mean, it's more than, and you get like a little tiny bag of it for more than what you would buy for a huge bag of soil. And so I started feeding them cornmeal because that's what my father used to do. Because we fished a lot, so he had his own worm bed and he would feed them cornmeal. But I want to show you guys some soil that I bought. This soil has been out in front of Dollar Store for most of the year. The packaging's faded. It's True Living. It's their name brand. And I was reading the ingredients in it because even though I didn't pay that much for it, I had to laugh because it's all pine bark, just ground up pine bark. There's literally no soil in there. This is why I just buy the in-ground soil from Walmart. It's super heavy. You can't even hardly pick up the bag. It's like $7. And that's real soil right there. Okay, and if you want to keep it a little drier, because it's Florida, so you're constantly watering. If you have any kind of Miracle-Gro potting soil, which is outrageously expensive and it's not that great, they add a lot of peat moss to it and it stays dried out. And they want you to keep it dried out so you don't mess up you don't overwater your plants. But it's too hot for Florida to have a lot of peat moss in your soil. So you could get a bag of peat moss and a bag of perlite and a bag of in-ground soil or whatever, and you buy those and you mix it the way you want, and I'm telling you, you won't have to water as much. Your plants are going to do so much better. I have to water my plants every day that are in pots, and it puts them in shock. It puts them in shock because they're getting overwatered for a little while. It stays moist and then it dries right back out. So they're going from water to extreme dryness, back and forth. So get you some in-ground potting mix. Start composting. I started composting about 8 months ago, and I started off with only stuff from the house. That's my cattle trough. I filled that thing up twice already. Twice to the top. Keep it moist. Cover it with like some grass or whatever. The lizards stay around here constantly. I made the mistake by putting a old cucumber vine in here, but I've used most of this already and I still got a lot left. But the lizards stay over here because anytime I go through it like this, the worms are just everywhere. And if you got worms in your soil, that's a good sign. And you want to keep feeding them worms because the worm castings that they put out, which is poop, it is very like nutritious. That's why you can buy them in a bag. Start making your own soil, because this stuff that they're selling in the stores is nothing but a ripoff. It's junk. It's not good. It's not good at all. So I'm gonna just keep composting. And if I have to buy some dirt, I buy the in-ground Walmart brand. And if I need to mix it, make it dry out more or whatever, I just buy a couple of other little bags of stuff and mix in with it. But Miracle-Gro, it's outrageous. It's not worth it. Dollar Store brand. Dollar Store brand is a joke. I bought that for $3, that little bag. So if I took that and mixed it in with a big old bag of the in-ground, that would work out perfect. I would think. It would keep it dry enough, and it would keep the soil from getting compacted. You don't want the soil to get compacted. So yeah, man, if I could make my own dirt company, I'd be in there, you know. But I use enough since I moved in this house. I've spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I'm talking thousands of dollars on dirt. I swear to you, thousands of dollars. And then I just started mixing it myself. I get that black cow manure, and I get the in-ground stuff because it don't have, it's like 90% soil. The in-ground's 90% soil. And then what they do is they just take soil and they mix a lot of peat moss, because peat moss is super cheap and it's a filler, and that's what you're paying for. And that's why your plants are drying out and going into shock, because it only holds water for maybe an hour if it's outside. Holds water for an hour and it dries it right back out, and then your plants are like dying for thirst by the end of the afternoon because it's so hot. And that's what I do. So yeah, don't buy that Miracle-Gro stuff, and don't buy all that organic stuff. It's unbelievably expensive, and I just don't think it's worth it. I really don't. I don't know. Most of the stuff that you put into even making soil is organic. I mean, I'm sure they're not going to put no fertilizer in there, but you'd probably want fertilizer in there. But some of that organic stuff is just outrageous. It's a joke. Make your own compost, make your own soil, and quit feeding these people this money, because this is insane, dude. It's all pine bark. That's all it is. And it's wet, and it's been in that bag in the front of Walmart or dollar store in the sun for months and months and months. And this, I didn't even add no water to it. Of course, they're going to spray it down and make you think that you're getting good for your money because it feels heavy. But when that stuff right there dries out, I'm going to tell you what, it's going to shrivel up to nothing, and then it's going to be hard to retain moisture in it. That's why they keep it moist in the bag. So you think that you're getting a nice mix of moisture, and then the first time this dries out and you go to water it, it's just it's not gonna suck it back up. I'm having problems with all my flower beds because of the soil that I bought. This one I watered sometimes twice a day. This one, it sucks because it's mostly just peat moss in there. You can see where I added my own sand, because I mixed a little bit of sand in the compost, so it wasn't too rich for the flowers. But yeah, I got peanut shells and everything in there. I take my worm castings. I just planted this like little fern stuff. I let them eat the roots of it. That's why there's no grass all the way around here, is because the worms are like feeding off the bottom of it. But that's why I try to rake up the worm castings. They're expensive, but they're so good for your plants. Just make your own compost. Don't buy that stuff, especially Miracle-Gro. What a joke. And dollar store.